Hey guys, welcome to Homework Help for Year 5, Term 3, Week 4. Now for those who are wondering what happened to Week 3's Homework Help video, I lost the papers and I couldn't do the video. And also the question was about areas and volume, which I think, in my opinion, was pretty easy. So I didn't think you guys would need so much help on that one. But if you did and you expected the video, I apologize. But I do have week 4's papers, so that's this video here. So let's do that one on page 7. Homework question 1 says Mark weighs 80 kilograms and John weighs 20% more. That means 20% more than Mark. Okay, so he weighs 20% more than Mark, and then Alan weighs 10% less than John. How much does Alan weigh? Okay, so let's just write that down for a second. Mark is equal to 80 kilograms, and then John is equal to Mark's weight, which is 80 kilograms, plus another 20%. Okay, and then so let's work that out first. First, we know that Mark, which is 80 kilograms, that's our 100%. That's 100%. If you want to find how much kilogram 20% more is, you have to find what 20% of 80 kilograms is. So to go from 100 down to 20%, we divide it by 5, and we have to do the same thing here. So we divide it by 5 and we get 16 kilograms. Okay, there's actually a very fast way to divide it by 5 and times it by 5. So if you're wondering how to get 80 to 16 so quick, there's actually a trick. But if you want to know what the trick is, alright, when you divide a number by, let's say you divide 16, actually no, it's not 16, sorry. Let's say you divide 80 divided by 5. What you do is you double the number there, 16, and that's it. Okay, that's the trick to it. What if I said 60 divided by 5? Okay, double that, 12. Okay, or what if I did 70 divided by 5? Okay, double that, 14. Okay, so that's the trick to it. There's like all these tricks in mathematics that can help you speed up your calculations, and that's one of them. So let's do that. So we got the answer is 16 kilograms. So that means that John's weight is Mark's weight plus another 16 kilograms. That's that 20%. Okay, so altogether, how much does John weigh? 96 kilograms. And then you have who else? You got Alan. Alan weighs 10% less than John. So Alan weighs whatever John weighs, which is 96 kilograms, but take away 10%. Now this 10% is the 10% of whatever John, whatever John's weight is, which is 96. So we have to do a separate one for this one. So that means that 96 kilograms is your 100%. Now we want to go from 100%, we want to go down to 10%. So how do we do that? We have to figure out. Now, to jump from 100 to 10, you can't do minus or plus. Okay, you can only do times or divide. We're trying to find out how many times less or more something is. So 10, from 100 to 10, you have to divide it by 10, because 100% divided by 10 is 10%. So that means you gotta do the same thing to this side here, which is 9.6 kilograms. So if you so that means that 10%, when they say 10% less, what they mean is 9.6 kilograms less. Okay, so now Alan's weight is 96 kilograms minus 9.6 kilograms. Alright, there we go. Now to minus, we have to make sure decimal place in the correct column, and anything that doesn't have a value, we put a 0. Alright, so 0, so we can do, this will be 5, and this will be a 10. 10 take away 6 is 4. 5 take away 9 we cannot do, so we borrow from here, it becomes 8. 15 take away 9 is 6, and then 8 take away nothing is 8. And then, so that becomes 80 6.4 kilograms. Okay. Question 2. Tina has 3,200. Anna has 40% less than Tina. So we do the same thing. Tina equals to $3,200. Okay. And Anna is the same as Tina minus 40% because she has 40% less than Tina. So we have to find what the percentage, the actual value of this one in terms of dollars, because they give us in terms of percentage. Alright, so let's work that out. Okay, I'm gonna find some space. Maybe I'll do it here. So $3,200 is our 100%. Okay, we're comparing 100%. And now we want to go down to 40%. So 40%. But to go from 100 down to 40, we have to, it's getting less, right? So we have to divide. So now when you're dividing, what can you divide from 100 to get to 40? Well, it's some sort of a decimal number or some fraction, right? We don't want that. So it's hard to do that. So if you can't go from 100 to 40 in one go, how about we just go from 100 down to 20 instead? I think that will be a lot easier than go from 100 to 40. So if you can't go in one go, if you can't figure out what to divide to get to 40 in one hit, just do it in 2 steps. Okay, so you can go there to that one, and then from that one we can go to that one. Okay, so 100 can be divided by 5 to get to 20%, and then 20%, if you double that, you get 40%. So you can go 2 steps, and then we do the exact same thing over here. So we divide this by 5, and then we get an answer, and then we times it by 2. So let's figure that out. 3,200 you divide it by 5. What are we going to do? We're going to double this. You're going to get 64, and you're going to put 1 0. Okay, so this will be 640. If you know. Let's see if that works. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's see if that works. That's my trick. Okay, 3, 2. All right, 32 divided by 5 would be 6. 6 times 5 is 30. Take away 2, 0. 20 divided by 5 is 4. 5 times 4 is 20. That's 0, and then bring a 0 down. 0 divided by 5 is 0. There you go, 640. Okay. That's the quick method. I'll show it to you more in detail next time if I have a chance. But we have a lot of questions to go through, so won't be doing that today. Now 640 times it by 2. If you double that, you're gonna get what? 0, 8. And 12. That means 40% is actually 1,280. So we have to minus what? So 3,200 must minus 1,280. And what does that give us? I don't know. Let's work it out. 1280. This will be 0 minus 0. This will be a 1. This will be a 10. 10 minus 8 is a 2. I'll zoom in there. This will be a 2. We borrow from 1 from there, and then this will be 11. 11 minus 2 would be a 9, and then 2 minus 1 is a 1. So therefore, when you subtract it, you'll get 1,920. So that means Anna has $1,920. Okay. And then the next person is Michelle. Now Michelle has 10% more than Anna. So Michelle has whatever Anna has, which is 1,920, and we're going to plus another 10% because she has 10% more. All right, this 10% is connected to this one. It's referring to that one. Okay, so we have to use that number, not this number, not the 3,200. So let's have a look at that one. So 1,920, that's our 100% now. And we want to get to 10%. Alright, that's easy. We can go in one step, one fair step, and that is just divided by 10. So we do the same thing here. We divide it by 10, and we get, if you divide by 10, you get rid of 0. So that becomes 1920. So therefore, this 10% is actually just 192. Well, what? Oh, whoops. There should be a zero. What am I saying? It's just 192. Okay. So if you do the calculations, you're gonna get what? 1,920, and you're gonna add 192 to it because it says this plus that, which is 192. Now add them up, you get this will be a 2, this will be 11, this will be a 10, 11, and this will be a 2. So the answer for this one, it says how much does Michelle have? Well, Michelle has a total of this much. Okay. Alright, let's move on to the next question. First, I'm gonna rub this out. Oh, let's use a bigger rubber. Okay. Now, there are 440 students in a school. 25% does swimming, 15% does basketball, and 40% does tennis. How many does not do any sports? How many students? Okay. So this question is a bit vague. It's asking how many what? How many people? How many students? Or how many percentage? So if you think about it, I think it's asking how many people. So how many students in total. So let's work it out. We got 15 people, 25% does this, 15 does that, and 40 does that. So we add them up. You got 25 plus 15 plus 40. And this will give you a total of, this will be 3, 4, 8, 80%. That means that 80% of the people have been accounted for. That means that there's a leftover, okay? Altogether, there's 100% of anything, right? 440 students is what our 100%. This is 100%. 80% of the student does all of this stuff here. That means there's a 20% of the people who does nothing, who don't do any sports, because they're not listed in here, in this part. So 20% no sports. They don't do any sport. Now the question is, how many of the people do no sport? Well, we gotta find 20%. 20% of what? Of all the students of here. Of 440 students. Okay, that's a bit messy, so let's just get rid of that. Okay, so 440 students is your 100%. Because we're looking for 20%, we're just looking for that what number is connected to the 20%. 440 is connected to the 100%, but what number is connected to 20%? So let's work it out. From 100 to 20, we just divide it by 5, and we do the exact same thing over here. What you do to the right side, you do to the left side. And what you do to the left side, you do to the right side. It's just back and forth, okay? So you do divide it by 5. Okay, so let's see. 440, if you divide it by 5, let's just do it this way here. 44 divided by 5 will give me 8. 8 times 5 is 8 times 5 is 40. Take away, you get a 4. Bring the 0 down. 40 divided by 5 is 8, and then you're done. So therefore, this will be 88. Whoop. Let me just rub this out. So this should be 88. That means that 88 people do no sports, because 88 of the people is the 20% there. So the answer is 88. How many does not do any sport? 88 people. Done. So that's the answer there. Alright, next one, question 4. In a farm there are 540 sheep. This is 25% of all the animals. How many animals are there at the farm? Okay, 25%, for those who don't know, is equal to 20. We want to change it to, let's change it to a fraction first. Or actually, let's just do the other way. Let's just do this way, because we've been doing this way for a while. Okay, let's do this way. 25% of all the animals is the 540 sheep. Now they want to find how many animals are there. That means they want all the animals. All the animals. How many what number would relate to all the animals? Well, the word all refers to 100% of something, right? If you have 100% of something, you have all of it. If you have 50% of something, you have half of it. So that means that they want you to find 100%. If 25% is 540, what's 100%? Well, how do I go from 25 to 100? What do I multiply by? Because it's going up, right? From 25 to 100, it's going up, which means you're multiplying. What do you multiply by? We multiply by 4. If you multiply 25 by 4, you will get 100, which means I must multiply this by 4 as well and get all the animals. Okay, this is all the animals there. So if you multiply 540, you times it by 4, you will get the answer. I'm not going to do that. You can do it yourself. Question 5. In a farm, there are 220 cows. That is 40% of all the animals. How many animals are there at the farm? Okay, so 40%. Actually, I'm going to write backwards now, just so you can see. We can work in different directions. Instead of writing percentage first, I'm going to write the number first. So 220 cows is your 40%. Now the question is, how many cows are there? I mean, how many animals are there? They want all the animals. So they want, again, all the animals. And they say, what's the number? What number is related to all the animals? Well, that means that they want, again, 100%. 100% of something is all of it. So how do we go from 40 to 100? Not easy. We want to times it by something, right? It's not going to be a whole number. Okay, so you can't times it by something to get to 100. We can, but it's not a whole number. So anyway, so instead of doing one jump from 40 to 100, let's just do 40 to 20 first. Okay, 40 to 20, and then 20 we can go to 100. Now 40 to 20 I divided by 2, and 20 to 100 I times it by 5. So I'm going to do the same thing here, 2 jumps, 1, 2. I'm going to divide this by 2, which gives me 110, and then I'm going to times it by 5. So 110 times 5, and you can work that out, get the answer. So once you get that number, it will be in here. So that number is going to be in there, and that's the answer there. That'll tell you 100% of all the animals, which is the number there. Okay. All right, you can do that yourself. Question 6: increase 360 by 15%. Okay, so 360 is your 100%. Now we want to go to 15%. I want to know what 15% looks like. So I can't go from 100 to 15 easily, but I can go from 100 to say 5%. I can go 5%. Okay. So from 100 down to 5, I'm dividing it by 20, and from 5 to 15, I can just times it by 3. Okay, so we divide this. We do the same thing here. We divide it by 20, and then we times it by 3. So 360 divided by 20, that will be 18. Okay, and then you times it by 3, that will be 48. So therefore, if you want to increase this by 15%, you're actually increasing it by $48. So to find the answer for this question, you just do 360, and you're going to add $48 to it, and you're done. Okay, I'll leave you to do that. Next question. Next page. In a hall, 45% of the pupils, meaning students, so this is another word for student, were boys, and the remaining 990 pupils were girls. How many pupils were there altogether in the hall? Okay, so let's see. We have alright. Let's map this out a little bit. We have students. So all the students. Okay, we're gonna break it down into 45% are boys. So these are the boys, and these are the girls. There's only boys and girls. Okay, so and this is 45%. And the girls, they gave us, instead of a percentage, they gave us a number. They kind of mix it up to confuse us. So the girls, there were 990. So the boys, we have a percentage and we have a number. We don't know what the number it is. And the girls, we have a percentage and a number, but they gave us in different forms. Okay, one they gave us percentage, and the other they gave us an actual number of how many people. So we can figure out the girls' percentage easily. Okay, the boys' percentage plus the girls' percentage must equal to 100%. Okay, because all the students, meaning there are 100%. So 100 take away 45, that will give you 55%. So there are 55% of girls. 55% of all the students are girls. Now the question is, how many people are there altogether? So we can figure that out. So we can't use this because we don't have enough information to work out anything. But we can use this instead. So we're going to use this to help us figure out what 100% is. Okay. So what you do is first you map it out, and now we're going to do the calculations. So we know that 55% of all the people is our 990 people. That's connected. Now, the question is not asking how many boys there are. If it was, I would try to put 45%. I'm trying to get from there to there. That's what I would do. Okay? But the question is asking how many people are there all together? Meaning, how many people, all the people, how many is that? Meaning that they're looking for all, which means they're looking for 100%. So they want to go from there to there. Okay. Now we can't go from 55 to 100 easily. If you double 55, you get 110. That's already over 100. So we have to make two jumps. We can go to 5%, and then we can go to 100%. So to go to 5%, we divide it by 11. And then to go to 100%, we must times it from 5 to 100, you must times it by 20. Okay, so we do the same here. Same thing here, we divide it by 11. That gives 990 divided by 11 will give you 9. 9 times 11 is 99. Take away 0, 0, and that's 90. So therefore, it should be 90, right? And then to go to 100%, I must times it by 20. So now I do 90 times 20. And that should give me the answer. Okay, so 9 times 2, 18, 0, and you got 2 zeros, 0, 0. Therefore, there was 1,800 students altogether. That's all the people in there. So 100% would be 1,800, and you're done. Okay. Question 8. In a hall, there were 660 more girls than boys. 20% of the pupils were boys. How many girls were there in the hall? Okay, so this is a very tricky question. This is one of the trickiest questions that comes to percentages, and a lot of people get confused with this one. So be careful. So let's map this out. Let's see what they're talking about. In a hall, there were 660 more girls than boys. So let's say all the students are here. Whoops. Okay, now we got boys and we got girls. Alright. Now we know that 20% of the students were boys, so that means this is 20%. If this is 20%, how many girls were there? Now all the students, remember, all the students is your 100%. If the boys are 20%, then obviously the girls must be your remaining 80%, right? 20 plus 80 is 100. So we've broken down all the students into 20 and 80. And we know that the girls, there are 660 more girls than boys. Okay. So what does that mean? We have a percentage. We also have a number. So this percentage, we have a number, and we also have a number for the boys. It's a number of students for the girls, a number of students for the boys. The girls, the difference is the girls have 660 more. So let me draw this out. So you can see it a bit better. Imagine you got, let me think. I'm gonna draw the boys. Actually, I'll draw it over here, boys and girls. Actually, no. I'll do it horizontally. So I'll have boys. So imagine the boys is this much here. It's a horrible looking block there. Hopefully this one will look better. Okay. So that's the boys, and now for the girls, it will look like this. Something like this. Maybe a bit shorter. Alright, there we something like that. Okay, so now for the girls, if I just divide it like this. Alright. So the boys is 20%. This is 20%. And the girls is 80%. 80%. So that's 20%. That's 20, 20, 20, 20. 80%, right? This is your 80%. And this is your, sorry, that's 20%, 80%, and this is your 20%. I don't know why I rubbed it out. Okay, now the part that confuses people is the more part. So what it means is that the girls have 660 more, and you can see that from here and here, what's the more? Which part is the more? So this is your 20%. Okay. So these are all percentages. Now the more is the part that's missing. So all of these, this is the more. All of this is the more part. So they both have 20%, but the girls have this extra 60%. Okay, so that means that in terms of percentages, the girls have 60% more than the boys. So 60% is your 660 students, if that makes sense. So the percentages are the 20% there. We don't know how much people is in there, but we do know that the girls have 60% more. You see, when you compare them, right? Here's 80, that's 20. 80 minus 20 is 60, and all of this missing piece is the more, if that makes sense. Okay, so that means 60% is the more part, which is 660 girls. So now we have to go back to the question is asking you how many girls were there in the hall. Okay, so to find the girls is 80%. So we want to get to 80%. We know that 60% is 660. We want to get to 80%. Why do I choose 80%? Because that's how many girls there are. This is the more part. Okay, and because the more part is connected to this one. All right, so let's go. So can we go from 60 to 80 quickly? No, we can go from 60 to 20 easily, and that's just divided by, let's get rid of this, divided by 3, and then from that one to that one you just times it by 4. So 60 to 20 is divided by 3, which means I have to divide this by 3. That'll be, so 660, whoops, that's a horrible 6, divided by 3 will be 2, this will be a 6, and then 2 again, this will be a 6, and then a 0, so 220. So 20% is 220. Now if you want to go to 80%, you must times it by 4. So times it by 4 and you get 088. Therefore, the girls is, we just figured out 880 people. Okay, so this looks really messy, so let me just, whoops, rub this out and show you what's happening. Actually, whoops, rub this out here. Okay, so what's happened is that we just figured out that the girls have 880 people, and the boys 20%. So if that's 80%, the boys is 20%. The boys must be you know, 80% from 80% to 20%, you divide it by 4, divide it by 4, and you get 220. So there's the boys, there's the girls. Okay. As you can see, this is 20%, and this is 80%. And if you minus it, 880 minus 220, you get 660, which is what it says. Okay, that makes sense. So the question is, how many girls there are? There are 880 girls. Sorry that took so long to explain. A lot of people are just confused with this question. So I'm gonna rub this out. Alright. Next is, in a hall, 40% of the students were boys. Okay. If there were 632 boys, how many? Okay, this is easy. So we know that 40% is referring to the 632 boys. Now, how many students were there in the hall? That means they want all the students in the hall, so they're looking for the 100%. Okay, so 40 can't go to 100 easily, but it can go to 20, and then from 20 we can go to 100. So 40 to 20 we divide it by 2, 20 to 100 we times it by 5. So again we divide it by 2, and then we times it by 5. And then once you do that, you'll get the answer, and that will be your answer there. So I'll leave that for you to do. So make this a bit smaller. Okay. Alright, question 10. Toy car is $24. How much will it cost after 20% discount? Okay, so 20% discount, so let's see. You have, so this is the cost of the car, $24. So this is I'm gonna call this the original cost. Okay, if you want to find out how much the car is going to cost, so the actual cost of the car, is going to be original cost minus the discount, isn't it? So the original cost, which is $24, you take away some amount of discount, you know, and then you get the actual cost, how much you actually pay for the car. So to find the actual cost, which is what the question is asking you to do, you have to look at your original cost, which is $24, and you've got to minus the discount, which is given to us as a percentage, so 20%. So that's what we got to do. We got to figure this part out here. All right. So let me see. We have to find 20%. We know that $24. The original is the original number is always your 100%. Okay, this is initially there's 100% of it. We have all of it. So 100% is your $24. So the question is, what's 20%? From 100 to 20, we divide it by 5. So we divide this by 5. Now you're wondering, how do I divide 24 by 5 evenly? Well, you can't. What you can do is, because we're dividing, we can put into a fraction. Division and fractions are the same. Okay, you can put 20. So what it means is this. 24 divided by 5 is the same as 24 over 5. Division, same as fraction. Get used to that one, because that's going to be all over mathematics. Okay. So the way we do division like this is, because we're not allowed to use calculators, we just have to use fraction. It's easier. So 24 over 5, this is known as an improper fraction. Improper. Okay, now we just change it to mixed numeral. How many 5s in 24? Well, the answer is 4. 4 whole 5s will go into 24, and remainder 4. So 4 and 4/5. Now, you can turn it into a decimal at this point, because for those of you who know 4/5, that's just 0.8. So this is 4.8. Okay, we got 4 whole and 0.8. So that's 4.8. Now the question is, okay, so 4.8. Let's go back to the question. So we want to find our actual cost. That means $24 minus what? We just figured out what 20% is now, and that is $4.80. Okay, so all you got to do to find the actual price, let me just get rid of this for a second. So to find the actual price, or the buy price, or whatever you want to call it, it's gonna be $24. Take away your $4.80, and you can just do a subtraction like this. Take away $4.80. Okay, the decimal place has to be in the right location, so there's no one there, and anything without a number will be 0. Just do a subtraction and you're done. Alright, question number 11. Toy car costs $32 after a 20% discount. Oh, alright, they're trying to mix it up, make it a bit harder for us. So we have again, I'll just do the actual price just to make it convenient. Actual cost, or whatever, is equal to the original cost minus the discount. Okay, it says the toy car costs $32, so this is the actual cost because the discount has been applied already. So therefore $32 is over here, equals the original cost. Do we know what it says? What is the original price? Well, we don't know what the original price is. We just know the final price, which is this one here, $32, and we have a discount of 20%. Okay, with 20%, fine. So what is the original price? Now this is a very hard question because it requires you to understand where the percentages belong to. The discount is your 20%. The original, okay, and now let's think of it in terms of dollars and percentages separately. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna write it over here. Actually, I'll write it down here. Actually, no, I'm just gonna put it over here, but this time I'm gonna rub this out. Oh, the rubber's too big. Okay, so minus the discount price. So let's think of this in terms of dollars. So this is all in terms of dollars. Okay, so $32 is some original price, which is some amount of dollar, minus the discount, which is also some amount of dollar. We don't know what they are yet. Okay, now let's think of terms of percentages. So $32, what percentage is that? Let's get there later. Original price, remember how I told you original price is always your 100%? So that's the original. Okay, original is the beginning. We always start from 100% of, because we have all of it. Okay, we have all of the original price. So that's in terms of percentage, that's your 100%. Now let's look at the discount. We don't know what the amount of discount is, but we do know that it is 20%. All right. So now we can work out the actual cost percentage. What is 100% take away 20%? Well, the actual cost must be 80%, right? Okay, so have a think about this. What can we use? Can I use this? Do I have enough information? No. 20% is not connected to any number. I can't work out anything with that. But I can't use this one either. Same issue, same problem. But this one, I can use this one. I can use this to figure out everything else. Okay. Once you understand that, you can figure out the whole question. So let's just separate that over there. So what I mean by making a relationship between these numbers is this. We know that 80% is connected to your $32. That's still $32. Now, the question is, what's the original price? They want the original price. That means they're looking for the 100%. So we're gonna go to 100%, and we want to know what dollar value that is, right? Now to go from 80 to 100, not really easy, right? You have to times it by some fraction or decimal. We don't want to do that. We want to do whole numbers. So we're going to do 2 jumps instead. 80, we can go down to 20%. Okay, I can divide it by 4 to get it down to 20. And then from 20, I can just times it by 5 to get to 100. So I'll do the same thing here. I'm going to divide it by 4. And then I'm going to times it by 5. 32 divided by 4 will give me 8. So 20% must be $8. 100% will be 8 times 5. Now I can figure that out. That's going to equal to $40. So therefore, we just figured it out. We're done. The original price is your 100%, which is your $40. Okay. And that's done. Now question 12. If Alan had bought a figurine at a discount of 10%, he would pay $30 less. Okay, so let's do the same thing here. I'm gonna just copy and paste because I'm not gonna can't be bothered writing this again to save time. We're gonna duplicate that, and we're gonna bring it down here. Okay. Now, let's rub this out. Let me see. Alan had bought a figurine a discount. Okay, so in the question, it doesn't tell us how much he has to pay the actual cost. We don't know this amount here. Okay, we don't know. It's unknown number. Actually, I'll put that whole $sign in there. We don't know. We don't know the original price. We don't know the discount either. Actually, we do know the discount. It says $30 less. So the discount is your $30. So that means the discount is $30. And the discount percentage is 10%. So let's rub out all these percentages so we don't get confused. So discount is your 10%. And also, what else do we have? We don't have, okay, the original will be 100%. Obviously, that's a given. So therefore, the actual price must be 90%. Okay. Now, which one do we use? Again, we're gonna figure out which relationship to use. We can't use this. Not enough information. Can't use that. Same problem. But we can use this. Okay. Once we have a relationship between the numbers and the percentage, we can actually work out some stuff. So therefore, we know that 10% is our $30. Okay, $30. Now the question is, how much would he pay if he had bought it at a discount 25%? Okay, so they want you to find the how much he actually pays, the actual cost. So the question is asking you to find for me the actual cost if there was a discount $25. Well, let's figure out a couple of things. You can do this a fast way, but I'm not gonna. Yeah, probably shouldn't show it to you yet because it might confuse you. It might be too complicated. So, alright, so let's just do a step by step then. We want to know if we have. Oh, this is 30 by the way. So 10% is $30. Let's see. Let's get all of the numbers. Actually, let's get the original price back. So let's get 100%. I want 100%. So I times it by from 10 to 100. Times it by 10. So if I times this by 10, I will get the actual the 300, which is so $300 is 100%, and 100% is our original price. So therefore, this must be $300. The original price is $300. Okay. So that's great. But now they say, what if they change the discount to 25%? So what if we have a new question now? So this is the original question. What if they change the question? What if they said we have oh, by the way, this will be 270. Anyway, just fill that in. All right, let's say so that's how much you would pay if it was a 10% discount. Now the question is, how much would you pay if it was a 25% discount? Well, let's work it out. We know our original price is $300. Okay. Okay. And then now we're going to minus some discount amount. So this discount is, we know is 25% now. It's no longer 10%. So let's go back to this one and find out what 25% is. Let me see. So let's go to, we want 25%. So if 100% is 300, then 25%, to get 25% divided by 4, and I divide it by 4. So 300 divided by 4. 30 divided by 4 is 7. 4 times 7 is 28. Take away, you get remainder 2. 20 divided by 4 is 5. So therefore, this must be $75. Okay. So 25% is $75. That means this is $75. So how much do we pay? Oh, that's easy now, isn't it? The question is asking you how much do you pay if you have a 25% discount. So just do 300, take away 75. That'll give you what? $225. So the answer is there, $225. All right, let's go to the next page. My cricket batting average is 26 runs for 5 matches. If I score 128 runs in my 6th match, what is my new batting average? So imagine I've got 5 batting averages. So 5 batting scores. Okay, every time he hits, he's playing cricket, he's got a score for each run. We don't know what they are, what the 5 are, but we do know the average of the 5 is. How do you find the average of 5 numbers? You add them up and you divide it by 5. And that gives you 26. It says the average is 26. There's your average there. And for 5 matches. Okay, so that's how we do the average of 5 matches to get 26. Now, it says that if I score 126 on my 6th run, so this is 6th run, what is my new batting average? Okay, so before we do anything, we have to figure out. So let's get rid of that. Before we do anything, we have to figure out the total of the 5 numbers on the top there. How do you find the total? The total is this times this. So if you times that, you get a total. Okay, so we do 5 times 26, which will give you 130. So therefore, the top number is 130. All of this total must be 130 altogether. 130 divided by 5 will indeed give you 26. Okay. So we know that the 5 numbers add up to 130. Now let's just put this over here for now. 26. Okay. Now we have a 6 number, so we're going to add another number here. So we're going to add another 128. This is our 6th run. And to find the average, it says, what is my new batting average? So to find the new batting average, whoop, what happened there? Okay, you have to add all of the 6 scores together. And then we divide it by, not 5, we have to divide it by 6 now because we got 6 numbers. So you add all 6 of them together and you divide it by 6. And this one will obviously change. This is the old batting average. We want a new one now. So we don't know what the numbers are for each of the first 5, but we do know the total of them. All 5 of them will add up to 130. If you add another 128, so that means you got 130 plus 128 and dividing it by 6, and you get the new batting average. So this will be 258, I think, on top. 258 and divide by 6. Alright, so do that. That's a fraction, okay? A fraction means division, so just do 258 divided by 6 and you get the answer for the new batting average. I'll leave that to you. Next one says Carl practices for the 100-meter sprint and records the following times in seconds. What was his average time to 2 decimal places? So to find the average of these 5 scores, we add them up and divide it by 5 because there's 5 numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so let's add them up. The best way to add them all up is just put them into the correct column with the decimal lining up properly. Okay, so 9.8, you got 10.1, you got 10.01, You got 9. You got 9.98. You got 9.995. Okay. So we're gonna add them up. Now anything that doesn't have a value, just put a 0. So this one, I'm gonna put a 0 here. I'm gonna put a 0 here. 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, so this the first one will be a 5. The next one will be an 18. Carry the 1. This will be a 10, 18. So 18 plus 2 is 20, 28. This would be 27 plus 2 would be 29. And this will be 4. So your answer, when you add them all up, is 49.885. Now we do the next step. The next step is, once you add them all up, you have to divide it by how many numbers there are. And there are 5 numbers, so you divide it by 5. Okay, for those who not very good with division, I'll help you with that as well. Let's go and do that right now. So we do 49 divided by 5, because we can't do 4 divided by 5, it's too little. So we do 49 divided by 5, and that'll give you 9. Okay, 9 times 5 is 45. You do subtraction, you get a remainder 4. Bring the next number down, 8. Ignore the decimal for now. Okay, we'll put decimal in later. Just imagine there's no decimal. So 48 divided by 5 will give you 9 again. 5 times 9 is 45. Do subtraction, you get a remainder of 3. Bring the next 8 down. 38 divided by 5 will give you 7. 5 times 7 is 35. To subtraction, you get a 3 again. Bring a 5 down. 35 divided by 5 will give you a 7. And then 5 times 7 is 35. And that'll give you no remainder, which means that's the answer there. Now, you got to think about this, okay? Where would I put a decimal place? Well, let's round this up to, let's round it up. This will be close to 50, you agree? Close to 50? If I do 50 divided by 5, I should get 10, right? I wouldn't get 100, right? Or 1,000, that doesn't make any sense. So 50 divided by 5 will give me a 9. So where should I put my decimal place? Should I put it here? That's not, is that close to 10? No way, how about here? That's still not close to 10. If I put it here, that'll be close to 10. That makes more sense. So the decimal place should be placed in between numbers that makes the most sense for the question. So this is very close to 50. 50 divided by 5 should give me around 10. Okay, so the answer is 9.977, and that's the answer there. All right, moving on to the next question. Let's rub this out. Okay. The average of 6 numbers is 19. A 7th number is added and the new average is 20. Okay. So imagine you got 6 numbers. So I'm just going to draw 6 numbers. 1, 2, 3. And you got 6 numbers. Now to find the average of these 6 numbers, I must plus them all up, get a total, and then divide it by 6. And that'll give me the average of 6 numbers is 9. So that means, sorry, 19. So it's 19. Okay, once you've written this out, you can figure out the total. That's the first thing we got to do, is find the total. When you get questions like this, it's very important you find a total, because it helps you with your next. Most of the time, it will help you with your next calculation. So 6 times, to get a total, we just multiply the numbers at the bottom. Okay, 6 times 19. I know that 6 times 20 is 120. 6 times 19 will be 134 then. Oh, whoops. 114. What am I doing? 114. Okay. So therefore, the total is 114 of those of those 6 numbers. Now we have a 7th number. So what does that mean? Let me just do this. Okay. So now that was the situation before, but now we have a new situation. We have a 7th number. So I'm gonna rub this out. Okay. we have a 7th number. I'm going to put a 7th number as a triangle so you can see it's a different number. I mean, they're all different numbers, but that's the new number. I'll just as a triangle. Okay. Now, they said that when you find the average of these 7 numbers, so to do the average 7 numbers, you add them all up and you divide by 7, right? The new average is 20. So what is the 7th number? What is that number there? So first, again, when you have these 7 numbers, what do? I'll put it in green this time. When you get a situation, we find the total again. The total is of these 7 numbers total. To find a total of 7 numbers, you multiply the bottom number and the number there. So there'll be 7 times 20, which is 140. That means, because 140 divided by 7 will give you 20, right? So that means the top total must be 140. So we have, if you look at it carefully, you'll notice that excuse me, my voice is dying, I think. 114 plus, so all of this will be 114 plus some number, so plus another number here, and that'll give me a total of 140. So what's this number? How do you figure it out? You just do a subtraction. You find a difference. So this triangle number is equal to 140 subtract 114, and you can work that out. Once you work it out, you'll get the 7th number. Okay, so do that. I'll rub this out. Oh, yeah, I actually need to get rid of this one. Okay. Now the next question says 1 divided by 2 divided by 3, or no, so on. Okay, so let's see. When you take 1 and you divide it by 2, let's do this part first. Why is it not showing? Okay. 1 divided by 2 we can put into a fraction. That's 1 over half. Now you're dividing by 3. The next part is divided by 3. When you divide it by 3, 3 is a 3 over 1, isn't it? So when you divide by 3, that means a half times it by 1/3, right? Which means 1 over 2 times 3. Let's just keep it as 2 times 3 for now. Don't multiply yet, okay? And now you have that, and you're taking that 1 and 2 or 3, and you're dividing it by 4. 4 over 1, which means 1 over 2 times 3, we times it by 1 over 4. That's how we divide fractions. We flip the second number, and we change it from divide to a times. So now you have 1 over 2 times 3 times 4. Okay, and you divide by 4 again. So you can you see the pattern? So the pattern is this. I'll show you the pattern. So when you have 1 divided by 2, you have 1 over 2. You divide by 3, the 3 goes down here. Divide by 4, 4 goes down here. Divide by 4 again, 4 goes down here. And there's your... that's that. So all of this is going to translate into that. Okay, and now we have to do the next part, which is times it by 2, times it by 3, and times it by 4. And these are all over 1, right? So if you multiply them, you get 2 times 3 times 4 times... so 2 times 3 times 4, and it'll be all over 1. Okay, so at this point you can start cancelling things out, because when you multiply you can simplify. Okay, this side I can divide it, I can simplify that with that. So I'm going to divide this side, the top part, I'm going to divide it by 2. Okay, and I'm going to divide this bottom part by 2. So divide by 2, this turns into a 1, this turns into a 1, they're gone. Okay, divided by 3 and divided by 3. That turns into a 1, that turns into a 1, that's gone too. So you can see, I don't have to actually do that. I just cross out the numbers are the same. And you can see the answer is going to be 1. Now all of these turn into a 1, okay? They're not 0. They transform into a 1. And same with these guys. So the top number is 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. The bottom number is 1 times 1 times 1 times 4 times 1. That's just 4. So the answer is 1/4. The next one says find the best approximation Okay, so let's just make our lives easy by rounding everything off to some number. Maybe I can do 10. That one can be maybe 50. Times, I'm going to make this into a 10. Over, I'm going to make this into a 5. And I'm going to make this into a 2. Okay, so it's just estimation. We'll round things off. The top number will be 500. The bottom number will be 10. 500 divided by 10 is just 50. And there's your answer, 50. Alright, next page. Last page, I think. Okay, I'm going into an hour now. Now, let's see. I'll just quickly do this. Well, we've done this page so many times. By the way, this page will be in your test. Most likely. 99% sure it's going to be tested. It's always in the test, this page. Alright, so let's see. 66.4 divided by 4. 6 divided by 4 is 1. 1 times 4 is 4. Take away, you get a remainder 2. Bring a 6 down. 26 divided by 4 is 6. 4 times 6 is 24. Remainder 2. Bring the 4 down. And again, you get 6. Okay, where's the decimal place? Well, 60 divided by 4 gives me roughly 15. Okay, so can the decimal place be here? That doesn't look like a 15. That's a 1.6. But if I put it here, yeah, that's better. This is close to 15, so that should be correct. So the answer should be 16.6. Next one is you want to add these two. Okay, when we're adding, we can just add the whole numbers together. You get... actually, no, let's not do this way. You'll get confused. Just change it to improper fraction first. This will be 10, 14 on 5. Change it to improper fraction. You get 3, 4, 4 on 3. Alright. Now to add, we must make the bottom number the same. So that means I have to times this by 3, times it by 3, times it by 5, times it by 5. 3 times 14, that gives me what? 3 times 14, 2. This would be 42. 42 over 5. Plus, 15, 42 over 15. Plus with 20 over 15. And you can see that's going to be 62 over 15. Now we change that back into this is an improper fraction. Let's change it back to a what do you call it? Into a mixed numeral. How many 15s in 62? That'll be 4 and 2 15th left. Okay, because we got 15, 30, 45, 60. So there's 4 15s in 62 and remainder 2. Alright. Next one is you're multiplying 2 decimals. So all we gotta do is change it to a whole number for now. So this will turn into a number 2. And this will turn into a 12. And then we say 2 times 12, easy, 24. Decimal place, put the decimal place in there. The decimal place is always at the end of the number. Okay. Now let's look at how do we turn 0.2 into a whole number. Well, move the decimal place to the right once, and this one move decimal place to the right twice. So we've made 3 movements of the decimal place. So the answer, you must move it back 3 times, and that's all you gotta do. Okay, so let's put a couple zeros, see what happens, and then move decimal place back 3 times. 1, 2, 3, and there's your answer. So it'll be 0.024. Alright, next one is you have 4.7 plus with a 7 plus with a 0.32. Do we add like this? No way. You have to make sure the decimal place lines up. Okay, so this is incorrect way to do it. So what you got to do is you say 4.7. Now plus with a 7. The 7 is a whole number, so it has to be on this side. 7 and then 0.0. And then this will be 0.32. So this will be a 0 and a 0. They add them up and get the answer. Next one is you got subtraction, so 8.1 take away 0.24. Anything without a number will be a 0. You can work it out yourself. Next one is you got subtraction of mixed numerals. So let's again turn it to improper fraction. 5 times 7 is 35. 35 plus 4 is 39. 39 on 7. Take away 1 times 4 is 4 plus 1 is 5. So that's 5 on 4. In order to minus fractions, we must make the bottom number the same. So we times this by 4, times it by 7, times it by 4, times it by 7. Alright, so what we're going to get is 4 times 39. 4 times 39. 4 times 9 is 36. 12 plus 3 is 15. So this will be 156. Okay. So 156 over 4 times 7 is 28 minus 5 times 7 is 35 over 28. So all I did was just change that into that and change that into that. Okay. So now we just do, now that they have the same denominator, we can subtract them. So we can just leave this 28. 156 take away 35 will give you a 1. This will be a 2. 121. Yeah, that's correct. Okay. So now you got that answer. Let me just, but we're not finished. Oh, what happened? Okay. So what we gotta do is we gotta change it back to a mixed numeral. How many 28s in 121? Let me see. 28. 28. If you times it by 2, you get 56. So you get 56. And you plus another 28s, and you will get, this will be 14, I think. 14, this will be 84. Let's keep adding 28 to it. 84 plus 28 is, this will be, 12, sorry. Carry the 1, so that's 11, 112. Oh, okay. So 28, that's 1, 56, 2, 84, 3, 112, 4. So therefore, we got the answer to be 4. 4. And from 112 to 121, what's the remainder? If you do 4 times 28, you get 112. Right? Now, what's the remainder? So 121 take away 112. That'll be 9. That'll be 9 over 28. And there's your answer. Let me just double check. 8, 9. Yes, 9 is correct. Okay. So that's how we do it. Next one. When you want to multiply a mixed numeral with if you want to multiply a mixed numeral with a fraction, you go 1 times 7 is 7. We changed mixed numerals to improper, so 1 times 7 is 7 plus 4 is 11 over 7 times 1 over 4. This one remains the same. Now when you times it, you try to simplify it, but there's nothing to be simplified here, so you just multiply it right across. So 1 times 11 is 11, 7 times 4, 28, and you're done. Next one. Alright, this one says 2 4/5 divided by 1/3. So again, to divide or times, we're going to change it into improper fraction. So this will be 2 times 5 is 10, plus 4 is 14, so that's 14 over 5, times it by divided by 1/3. Now when you're dividing fraction, all you gotta do is flip this upside down and change it to a time. So this turns into 14 on 5 times it by 3 on 1. So remember, keep the first one the same. Don't flip it. Just only flip the second one. Alright, now there's nothing to be simplified here. So 3 times 14 is 42 over 5 times 1 is 5. Okay, so the answer is 42 over 5. Now, we change this back into a mixed numeral. How many 5s in 40? The answer is 8, and remainder 2 on 5. So 8 and 2/5. Alright, next one, increase 400 by 5%. So 400, this is our 100%. Usually that's the 100%, okay? So we know that 100% is our 400. We want to get to 5%. So to go from 100 to 5, because I want to figure out how much amount this is, not percentage. So go from 100 to 5. We divide it by 20, I think. Yeah, 20. So you divide this by 20 as well. Now let's see what 400 divided by 20. This is 20, so therefore this is 20. So 5% is 20. So therefore what they want you to do is they want you to increase 400 by 5%, which is they're asking you to increase this by 20. Increase means plus, so it's 400 plus 20. That's easy. That's 420. Alright. Next one says find the amount if 10% is 22. So 10% is our 22. It's related. It's connected. Okay. Now they want you to find the amount, meaning find all of the amounts. Find the whole thing. So they want you to find all. And they have a question mark here. Now all, another way to say all is 100%. So they want you to find 100%. So from here to here, how do we go from 10 to 100? We times it by 10, which means I must times this by 10 and I'll get 220, and that's the answer there. How many years in 3 scores and 5 years? Okay, one score is equal to 20 years. So 3 scores is 60 years, right? And then add the 5. Okay, question 12. Change into simple fraction. So 26%, that means 26. So 26% can be written as into a fraction. You just put it the whole thing. If you want to change percentage to a fraction, just put it over 100. So 26% means 26 over 100. Then you simplify it. Make it simpler. You can do that yourself. Change 1/3 into a percentage to the nearest percentage. Wait, did I miss a question? I feel like I missed. No, okay, that's fine. Change 1/3 into a percentage to the nearest whole percentage. Okay, so 1/3, I'll give you just that one quickly, is 0.3333 forever, repeating forever. So to change, so that's a decimal. We change from fraction to decimal. Now to go from to percentage, you must multiply the decimal. You must multiply the decimal by 100 to get to percentage. So if you multiply by 100, what happens? The decimal place will jump 2 times to the right. So now your answer is going to be 33.33%. Just keep it like that for now. But they want it to the nearest whole percentage. So what's the nearest whole number? So that means 33.33%. The nearest one will just be 33%. It's not. You have to figure out, is it going to be the 33%? Is it close to 33% or close to 34%? And obviously the answer is close to 33%, right? It's closer to this one. So the answer we choose is 33. Alright, next one is you multiply by 10, which means you move decimal place 1 spot to the right. And the last one is you divide by 100, so you move decimal place 2 spaces to the left. Okay, so the answer will be 0.327. Okay, that's it. Hope that helps.